Part 35. Find out Song Lian's behind-the-scenes manipulation, and traced his history background. Although they were suppressed by the government and there were only about 20 people left, it was not a problem for them to be robbed. They went down the mountain that day and robbed a family that still had surplus food. Goddamn bandits. The old lady is fighting with you. You stole all the food. How can we spend the winter in our family? You must all die. A burly woman hugged Li Man's leg, who was walking at the back, and pulled him to death to prevent them from grabbing the food. Li Man was hugged by him and couldn't get away for a while. The few people who had walked up to the front laughed when they saw it, and said jokingly, "Brother Li, don't tell us that you can't do anything about a woman." When Li Man heard this, he laughed embarrassingly, turned his head and kicked her away with a vicious kick. Stinky mother-in-law, do you want to die? If you dare to entangle again, believe it or not, I will kill you with a knife. Then, he ignored her, carrying half a bag of looted food, and followed the person who was already walking in front. The woman's rough cry came from behind. Li Man pouted the corners of his mouth. Blue veins appeared on his forehead, and his face was distorted and deformed. OMG. True Tamar is poisonous. After Li Man and the others walked away, the man lying motionless in the corner got up. He patted the dust on the coarse clothes, then walked over, kicked the woman who was still crying, and frowned. Okay, stop howling, it's all gone. The woman immediately stopped and got up with a grunt. Even though she howled for a long time, there was not a single tear on her face. Have they really gone far? The woman looked around, then pooh-pooh, she tore off the silk flowers on her head and smeared her face a few times, smearing the powder on her face black. White significance, he still didn't realize it. It's unfortunate for me. It's really not a human thing to pretend to be a woman. Where is this woman? He was obviously pretending to be a rough man. The man chuckled, "Eldest brother, I am willing to admit defeat. But to be honest, the appearance of your virgin makes those bandits dare not look at you. Ha ha ha." The eldest son of Zhao rolled his eyes at him. If he hadn't lost the bet with his brothers, he would have been willing to pretend to be a woman. These scumbags and this outfit were helping him fool him, and he knew that these people had no good intentions. The man was also obviously guilty, didn't dare to laugh at him, and changed the subject embarrassingly. By the way, what password did Brother Li give you just now? Let's go back and report quickly. This is what they have planned for a long time. Knowing that they went up the mountain to defect to Song Qingfu, the application for the name must be indispensable. So, they set up this game, and let the brothers in the guard camp pretend to be villagers, and let them rob things. And the village woman who was pretending to be the eldest son of Zhao just now. In the deliberate entanglement with Li Man, the two have quietly exchanged passwords with each other. In fact, there is no need to remind them deliberately. They also know the priorities of the matter, and the two hurried back to report. So, Li Man and the two did not have the slightest doubt, and they got in very smoothly. Mo Zhang said. Ming Yu nodded and said with praise, "It's a good job. Song Qingfu's group will not doubt them if they come." Mo Zhang said. "Well, let them be careful. The longer they hide, the better. To gain their trust as much as possible. In the future, they have to rely on them." Ming Yu said. Although he had already instructed them, he still couldn't help but remind them. "Don't worry. Your Highness, the two sent here are smart, and they have a lot of adaptability, and they will surely complete the tasks assigned to them." Mo Zhang vowed that the person he brought out was the best. Clearly, naturally believe them. Since it has been handed over to Mo Zhang, Ming Yu can also trust him, so he will not say this anymore, thinking of the news that Li Man brought back. He turned to ask, "Who is this Song Lian?" Since Li Man can know him, I think Commander Mo should have heard of it. Why don't you talk about this Song Lian? It's all about the details. You can tell me. He really didn't have much impression of this person named Song Lian. In the dark day, I stayed in that small world stupidly, indifferent to the outside world. It was only after he fell into the water that he regained consciousness. Sometimes he recalled the memories of the original owner, but most of them were vague and not very clear. As a military general, Mo Zhang had never been in contact with each other in the civil and military, and Mo Zhang had naturally heard of Song Lian, who was famous in Beijing back then. Mo Zhang sorted out his thoughts and said everything he heard and learned. Song Lian was famous in the capital at the beginning, and his appearance and talent were all talked about by everyone. I heard that as soon as he appeared, there were many ladies in the capital who were looking after him, and there were countless ladies. The poems and articles have also been appreciated by the Prime Minister. It can be said that if Song Lian was not implicated in the fraud case, Song Lian would shine even in the imperial examination. And his future prospects are limitless. I haven't actually seen it. Song Lian, back then, the fraud case in the laboratory shocked the entire capital. His Majesty Emperor Longyan was furious and dealt with the officials and students who committed the crime with thunder. As for how Song Lian was implicated, his subordinates did not handle this. This case, therefore, is unknown. All I know is that after Song Lian's accident, everyone in the capital sighed with embarrassment, and some people even gathered to ask for his life, begging His Majesty for extrajudicial grace and to open up the net. It's just that in the end, it didn't come to an end. When Ming Yu heard this, he felt deeply regretful. Since he was a truly talented person, how could he possibly cheat in the imperial examination? However, time is also fortune, fate is also. It's a pity that this person was implicated. It's just that my subordinates also heard a gossip about him. I don't know if I should tell it. Mo Zhang hesitated, and this matter sounded a bit unbelievable. He only laughed when he heard it at the time, but now it seems that there are all kinds of doubts in it, so no matter whether the matter is true or false, he wants to talk to His Highness. Lest if there is any omission, the time to regret it. Ming Yu is very strange. He has already said that he should just tell what he knows. How can he still be hesitant? This news is related to the Crown Prince and His Royal Highness Third Prince, so. Mo Zhang explained the reason for his hesitation. Just say it, Ming Yu spoke. It's just a small move to go to Beijing to take the exam, so what if the talent is outstanding? How could he be involved with the Crown Prince? Ming Yu's curiosity has been piqued. And he can't wait to hear what this gossip is about. Mo Zhang said, I heard that although the case was said to be a fraud case on the surface, the actual situation is related to the two princes. And it is said that the Crown Prince and the Third Highness Prince both took a fancy to Song Lian, who is extremely talented and beautiful. Song Lian was even jealous of him, so His Majesty was furious. In order to hide the public's attention and prevent such a scandal from being publicized, he arbitrarily made a fraud case. And only involved Song Lian in it, exiled thousands of miles away, and the students who are implicated in this will never become officials in the imperial examinations. And Song Lian will stop there even if he is talented. If it were anyone else, Mo Zhang would never say these words. But Ming Yu was different. He believed that His Highness would never convict him for these words. Ming Yu laughed when he heard the words. If he hadn't understood His Royal Highness, maybe he would have believed it. But the Crown Prince, who has always been abiding by the rules and cautious in doing things, how could he still be jealous for a man? This is not in line with the Crown Prince's principle of being a man. Ming Yu was somewhat close to the Crown Prince, but he had never heard the Crown Prince mention Song Lian. If you really like someone, you can be jealous for him. How can you never mention it? Ming Yu waved his hand. How is this possible? This rumor is groundless. Don't mention it again in the future. He reminded him that this word fell in his ears, but it was just a joke, but it was different outside. Yes. My subordinates obeyed. Seeing that Ming Yu did not get angry after hearing this, but instead confirmed that it was just a rumor, Mo Zhang was relieved, and he naturally knew the truth. When he said it today, he didn't understand why Song Lian came to the border. Song Lian is from the south. Even after the fraud case, he can no longer continue the pilot test. When he returns to his home in the south, he can still live a normal life. He didn't go home, but came to the borderland, which is a bit intriguing. He had heard that the Third Highness Ming Dao, for a period of time, even sent people to look for Song Lian, but in the end they found nothing. It is also true, no one knows, he will come to the border. And naturally he will not be able to find anyone. Since the Third Highness has blatantly approached Song Lian, it means that Song Lian and the Crown Prince have nothing to do with each other. Maybe he came here to avoid people, maybe to avoid the Third Highness. But these are just guesses. He really didn't dare to say more, just silently swallowed these words into his stomach. The two couldn't think of the reason why Song Lian came to the borderland. So they simply didn't think about him. In this way, Song Qingfu is all relying on Song Lian's ideas, so the case of Ningxi village is all about Song Lian. Song Lian's handwriting. It's no wonder that even the final touch-up was done cleanly without omission. No wonder, Song Qingfu's power has become one of the best in Liangzhou in just 2 years. It can be said that it is related to Song Lian's behind-the-scenes manipulation. Song Lian, Song Lian. Ming Yu frowned. It's a pity that such a smart person is willing to fall and join the bandits. It's a shame. However, no matter how much he cherishes his talents, he can only put Song Lian aside. In any case, since Song Lian helps the bandits to abuse the people, it is impossible to let him go. The things that should be done cannot be let go, the forces of thieves and bandits are not eliminated, and the people will never have peace. Next, Ming Yu got busy and worked out a battle plan with Xie Yishou, General Wei and others, how to lead the emperor into the urn, how to arrange the ambush, and how to catch them all in one go. Everything must be perfect. His cruel words have already been released. If he falls short, wouldn't his face be slapped?